Hello. Woo! Hello, everybody. What's up? Dennis Allen, and you're listening to the Dennis Allen City Boy Homesteader podcast. No, you're not. This is Dennis Allen YouTube channel. Just want to say what's up, y'all. I am driving home. There's a beautiful sunset. Can you see it? Going on. I hope you can see it through the digital removing of the truck that's pulling me. But I do want to talk to you today about a little thing that I got going on, the Quarry Fest 420, and a GoFundMe site that I started, GoFundMe fund, I don't know, campaign. I think I guess you would call it a campaign. So a GoFundMe campaign. I'm trying to raise $6,000 for a parking lot for the Quarry Fest 420 being held on April 20th. So right now we only have a parking for probably about, I'd say 100 cars between the road and the farm next door, and just random little spots on my property. The problem with most of the spots is that they're far away. They are about a half mile away at the farm next door. You know, my neighbors, to walk from the quarry to his house is probably about more than half a mile, because from his house to my front porch on my Airstream is about a mile. So, is it a mile? Anyway, it's far. It's not a mile. It could be a mile. I forget. Totally forget. It could be a quarter mile, something like that. I don't remember, but it's far. So we want to get we could probably fit another 100 cars on the lower level of the in the basement area of my property. That's the lower level. So when you first enter my property, going from that entrance to the quarry is probably, say, 500 feet. And to the right of the road goes up and around into the quarry. So to the right of the road, between the road and the other road, the quarry road, there's about an acre of dead land, has the old pillars from the rock crushers, and has some other foundations on there. And it was pretty much just like, I guess, the parking lot for the quarry equipment. So there is a great place to put a regular parking lot for the quarry, because it's already dead land. I can't really grow anything on there. There's a nice little spot for a hip camp. I got a hip campsite on that spot, but it's right next to the creek, so I don't think it should affect it. Well, it will affect it, because one of the things that I want to do is besides level it and, you know, make it a good spot for parking, I want to take the excess dirt that they're going to be scraping off, and I want to pile it up along the creek edge, so when it rains a lot, it doesn't overflow onto the parking lot and just actually everything. It floods out the road into my quarry, and I can't get into it. So it's happened a couple times already where I couldn't get home without walking in mud. My Jeep, I think one time I couldn't even get my Jeep out, so it's pretty serious. So I started a GoFundMe. It is gofundme.com/Quarry Fest. I think I put a little dash between Quarry and then like a minus sign between Quarry and Fest. I want to raise $6,000, so I posted that today. That's what the podcast was about today. I will stick this at the end of the podcast. You'll be able to listen to the podcast if you want via the technology of the YouTube. So check that out. If you don't want to listen to it, it's pretty much just talking about what I just talked about now, and it's only about 20 minutes long, so it's not too bad. I also put a song at the end of it. That is Obvious Pocket. They are playing at Quarry Fest 420, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, go to if anybody wants to come down for Quarry Fest and volunteer, you get free tickets. If you want to volunteer and still pay, that's good too, because all the funds are going to the Hope Fund of Penns Valley. So come on down. Free camping is available on my property. for the event, before and after event. Actually, for anybody that's watching this video right now, come down and camp on my property whenever. If you want to help me out, I got a good friend out of it, out of the YouTube videos. Someone took me up on that, Steve. Steve actually will probably comment on this video. And their videos with Steve, check them out. It's one of my highest watched videos that doesn't involve Wrangler Star, a dead cat, or some jibber jabber. Him putting a roof over my shipping container shop. So Steve will be there for 420. Come on down and meet Steve. What the hell? Everybody else will be invited. Everyone's invited. Come on down. It's to support a good cause. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just a little side note. I had oh yeah, this was an awesome time. 2 guys walking across the United States of America from New York City. They're from California. They're walking back to California. Mid-20s. I interviewed them on my last podcast. But after they actually spent the night, 2 nights at my glam camp, the tenter site, hung out at Angle Bean all day, and then on their way back, they're going west. I saw them right about here. I said, "Hey guys!" So I pulled over to right past this sign over here to the this place, whatever it is, a saddle shop. And I parked over there, talked to them, tried to get them a free ride somewhere. Not a ride, a place to stay. So I actually did the walk with them. I walked this whole way. And right here, see where those 2 poles are? There was a old broken down sign that I took. It was all rotted away. But I walked from back there to here with them on their journey across country. So I could say that I walked a little bit, very little, and I have 2 bad legs. So, but I did walk with them on their journey across country for a little bit. So that was really cool. Check them out there on Instagram. They have a podcast too. It's just about their lives. Not just about it, but that's what it's about. It's about their journey and everything. It's called Stone Cold Jackson. I forgot to ask him why it's called that, but it is called that. So you can check him on Instagram, Dustin Jang, and Kahoa. Wow, Phil with 2 L's _ Kahoa, Kokaao, something like that. So you can check them out on Instagram. They're doing most of their stuff on Instagrams, but they also have a podcast. They record, I think, once a week or something, or every other week. But really cool guys. Walked their journey, and then I got them staying at my buddy Andre's house. They actually spent the night and spent the next day with them, which was even cooler too. Man, they're gonna have such a journey. I think it seems like they're walking a day, 20 miles, hanging out a day if they can. Walking 20 miles, so really cool. Yeah, so that's that. If my daughter leaves watching, they may need a ride. They said pretty girls are allowed to give them rides. So, I don't know, Lee. A little adventure. Maybe take them out of their way or something. I don't know. So, that's pretty much it. I'm going to get going here. Next 20 minutes is going to be a podcast of me jibber-jabber. So, I'm trying to get more videos out there, people. I'm having a hell of a time. I love you. Summer's here. I'm moving back to the homestead. I did get a new 4-wheeler, which you did see. I hope you saw it. Did I post that video? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But I got a new 4-wheeler. So things are happening. It's going to be a very good spring. It's already turning out to be a good spring. All right, Dennis Allen. I don't want to say out, but I'm going to disconnect for now, because you're going to now listen to a podcast. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to film my road trip home, and then you'll listen to the podcast. So I'm going to shut up now, and you can listen to the podcast. Hello everybody. This is Dennis Allen. You're listening to the Dennis Allen City Boy Homesteader Podcast, the city boy who gave it all up to find happiness, financial freedom, and a better way to live life. Together, we can learn and accomplish anything. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2019, episode 22. Very cool. And it's Music Monday. Music Mondays is a weekly podcast where we talk about anything music-related going on in my life or anything in the Valley. So nice they named it twice. That's Penns Valley. On today's episode, we will be talking about putting together a crowdfunding for a parking lot for Quarry Fest 420. And what the heck do I need to get this done? So the last podcast on Friday, we had Dustin and Phil, two guys that stopped by the Ingle Bean, and I interviewed them, and they're making a journey from New York City to San Francisco. And one of the things that they talk about doing is, so if they have some kind of challenge or something that they want to accomplish in their lives, they will put a challenge out there to other people and have some kind of bounty on it. So what I did, I challenged them to that I will have a GoFundMe set up by April 1st. And if I don't do that, I'm going to give $100 to the charity of their choice. So what that does, that shows me some ownership on it and holds me accountable, so I have other people to answer to rather than myself. Because usually when I answer just to myself, it doesn't get done. So I took their challenge on in the podcast. I put it out there saying that I am going to do a GoFundMe for a parking lot for 420, Quarry Fest 420, by April 1st. So today is just going over, and I'm going to kind of just pretty much do it as we speak. I did set up a lot in post-production, but I'm pretty much talking about what is needed for the crowdfunding and what crowdfunding is, and why am I doing crowdfunding, and what crowdfunding site am I going to go with, and things like that. Why, the who, what, where, when, and why, and things like that. So stick around. It's going to be a great episode. Before we do, today's first sponsor is the GoFundMe. That's right. So the GoFundMe site, actually, no, it's not the GoFundMe site. It's Quarry Fest. I'll put the GoFundMe site in there later. It's actually Quarry Fest 420. So Quarry Fest, before we talk about the podcast and what's going on, why am I building a parking lot for this event? What Quarry Fest is, it is an all-day music festival. We're going to have 13 bands so far. It starts, gates open at 11:30. They go to, I don't know, 11 officially, but maybe even later. We're going to have, like I said, 13 bands, food vendors. Rusty Rail is a local brewery that is donating their time and money and beer to the event. Ingle Bean's going to be selling there. We have another vendor that's going to be there, Brazilian Munchies. It's a very authentic Brazilian lunch truck that is in the area. They will be there selling their Brazilian Munchies and donating a percentage of the profits to the Hope Fund of Central Pennsylvania, of Penns Valley. So that's what Quarry Fest for. Check them out, quarryfest.com or woodwardquarry.com or dennisallen.com, any of the venues. There is a Facebook page. There's an event for Quarry Fest 420. So check it out. This whole thing is going to a good cause. We're trying to raise money for the Hope Fund. So stay tuned. Maybe at the end of the podcast, you too can help us out. So what is crowdfunding? So crowdfunding, for those that don't know, I don't know how many years ago, I don't know too much about it, but crowdfunding is pretty much when you ask your community, either being your local community or the community of the interwebs, which is the World Wide Webs, www. You know it. So crowdfunding is you get everybody out there. Local community is where you start. You're going to tell my friends, my family. They tip in some money. Once it builds momentum, the crowdfunding site then shares it with everybody else in their community. So they have, say, 500,000 people. I think, I don't know the numbers, but GoFundMe, they've raised billions of dollars already for people that want to get some kind of project off the ground. A lot of times it's for charity, things like that. People getting sick, they don't have the $8,000 to, have a tooth pulled or leg reset or any kind of thing that you think other people that have some extra funds would want to help out with. So there's GoFundMe, and there's also a Kickstarter one. Kickstarter is more of a crowdfunder where you pre-sell things. So I was thinking about doing it for the as a Kickstarter, but I figured that since it's going to be more for a parking lot. I mean, what am I going to give away? Parking lot, passes. So I figured to do more of a GoFundMe. I could have, I guess, maybe going forward to raise the woodwork quarry and to raise money for just the quarry. I could maybe sell tickets or T-shirts, things like that. But for now, I'm just going to do a GoFundMe. This way, it is a charity thing. People could donate money for the event. So that's why I decided to go with GoFundMe. I didn't want to put out a bunch of promises that I couldn't fulfill. If this whole thing flops and we're not going to keep doing this, or if I lose money on this event, I don't want to also come out and have to pay out a bunch of T-shirts and tickets and, promise a bunch of tickets for future events that aren't going to happen. So I figured I would go for the GoFundMe route where you don't have to give them any kind of products or things like that. So GoFundMe is the one that I decided to go with to make it a lot easier. So what I did, I went to the GoFundMe site. I'm actually on it now. I'm clicking through and just checking things out. There's they want to know what the title is. So the title of it, I picked, Quarry Fest 420 parking lot. I'm trying to raise $6,000. So the estimate for the parking lot was about $5,500 to $6,000, I believe. And what that's going to entail is this is John Clare. He's the one that built the stage and the road and everything. So I'm going to kind of say he might be a little more expensive, but he's the one that's been working on everything, and I'm very comfortable with his abilities, and he's personally tied into this festival too. He's been a sponsor. He helps out. He brings dump trucks full of wood for the bonfires, for the fire pit. So it's been great with John Clare. He's been very helpful. So what he's going to do, the area right outside the quarry, it has 3 big pillars in it. That's where the rock crushers were, and there's some other foundational things there. So that whole area of my property, the lower lying area right next to the creek, it's pretty much dead property. You can't really grow anything in it. If you dig down a little bit, it hits right down the bare rock. So they must have just, dumped some dirty dirt on top of it or some googly gooks. So nothing really grows there. It's a low spot. So what we're going to do, we're going to level everything off because it's not even. We're going to level it off, compact it a little, make it like a nice firm parking spot. It's going to be dirt. It's not going to be cement or anything or any kind of rock. It'll be just a grass, parking lot, about an acre in size. And what he's going to do is also going to build up the bank of the creek, because the big problem I have on the lower end of my property when the rains come and it floods, the water goes over the creek and it fills up the whole area outside of the quarry, which would be the parking lot, the road going into the quarry and into my property, and kind of like where the the tenter site is. So this parking lot is going to do a lot. It's also going to have 2 entrances. So one entrance, when you first go into my property, you're going to be able to make a right, and that'll be the parking lot. As to the old way into the quarry, so you would go into the parking lot, and then there's a road from that spot where you first enter the property. You would have to go up over a hill and then down into the quarry. So right before the quarry and the spot that you enter the property is where the parking lot's going to be. So it'll have a little area, a little road going into the parking lot, and then on the other side of the parking lot will be another entrance into the quarry. It'll actually tie into the original road. So another problem with the original road is that you have to go up and down, and it's very narrow. So if anybody wants to come out, it would cause some kind of traffic jam. So we'll have 2 entrances or regresses into the quarry. That'll help. Also, when you're walking, if there's cars coming, you're not going to be able to fit 2 people through. So, and walking, you have to go up and down over the hump. So people don't want to do that. So the $6,000 will be used mainly to level that, machine work, a little bit of road work, and then also building up the bank so it doesn't flood in there. They ask you for, oh, you hear the birds? The category for the event. So I picked celebrations and events. Let's see what else they have. What else do they have here? You want to, so one thing that I did the research on, and you want to give a lot of information like the who, what, when, where, and why. So let's go through this so far. So the who is the Quarry Fest 420 parking lot. Let's see. You know what I'll do? I'll read the bio that I'm putting in here. We desperately need a parking lot for Quarry Fest 420. Quarry Fest is an all-day music festival. So this is just a draft. I'm going to have to tweak this up. Quarry Fest is an all-day music festival to help raise money for local charities in the central Pennsylvania area. Quarry Fest 420 will be held on April 20th. That's the when, 2019. So time is limited. This year, we will be raising money for the Hope Fund of Penns Valley. As of now, we are only limited to the amount of cars that can park on my land. And the less cars, the less funds for our charity. I might have to retweak that, but what I'm saying is that my quarry could hold about 1,200 people, and the parking is, I mean, I could probably fit on, like just spots here and there on my property. Maybe, well, I did build a little parking lot already myself with the little skid loader from Brian, Stone Meadow Farms. Thank you, Brian. I could probably fit about 25, 30 cars in there, and there's probably another 10, 15 cars that I could fit up top near where I live. And then if we're going to use some of the area in the quarry for parking, we could probably fit another 20 cars in there. Then we have road parking, and the farm next door could fit about 60 cars in, I believe I did the math. The thing with that, you have to walk probably a mile to get in. No, probably like half a mile to get into the quarry. So it's fairly short, but with this creek, you have to go down to the bridge and cut through. So that's that. As of now, limited charity. The $6,000 will provide the means to have about an acre of useless land that was once a parking lot for the quarry equipment to now be reutilized for concert goers. Any pledge would be greatly appreciated by myself and the many of lives affected by local fundraisers and other music venues going on at the quarry. All right. So that's the story. That's given what, let's say, is the who. I guess we. That's the organization. Let me see. Dennis. Maybe put Dennis Allen and the people of Penns Valley. I'll do that. So that's the who. The people of Penns Valley and Dennis Allen. The who, what? It's Quarry Fest. Where? Oh, I didn't do that. Okay, see? So this is why, you need the where too, so I'm going to add the where. Woodward, New Jersey. Woodward, Pennsylvania. PA if you're from here. What, when? I have the times. All day. I'll put all day on April 20th. What, when? Yeah, so it's all there. What? We rose fundraiser for Penns Valley. And I'll put the address in too. So that's that. That's what we have to talk about for the GoFundMe site. So that's pretty much how you put it together. I know there's not much more to talk about doing crowdfunding. Why is the crowdfunding? I think that's pretty much it, So we're going to raise this money. Hopefully we'll get it by April 1st. That's my it was my deadline to get it put out, but I'm going to put it out today. It's going out today. One thing I do want to do is make a video. So one thing I'm going to do a video about the GoFundMe. I'm going to pretty much just show the video, show the people watching the video where we're going to put the concert, where we're going to put the main stage, where the secondary stage is. I'll just do a little drone footage and some, more shots of the future parking lot and the future quarry, so music venue. So I think that'll be pretty much it. Like I said, we are doing this to raise money for the Hope Fund. The parking lot, I obviously will keep as a parking lot. Even we'll use it for other events also, rather than for Quarry Fest. But Quarry Fest is planned to be a twice a year fundraiser for whatever charity. Last time we did it for the local radio station, WSOV. We've raised over $1,000 for them. This year, we're doing it for the Hope Fund. So we want to get a parking lot. If we could squeeze in an extra, I think the parking lot's going to probably fit between 80 and 100 cars. I did the math on it as, just kind of like general size parking that a mall would use, something with like the bigger size spots. But I think if we just, everyone just kind of squeezes in, we could probably fit about 100 cars. So I think it's really exciting. We need this desperately to have this crowdfunder. I would like to maybe do a Kickstarter one time for more of infrastructure, some buildings and things like that. I want to get electricity into the quarry one day. That's not going to happen by 420. So that's why I decided to go with the GoFundMe and not the Kickstarter. When I get everything established more, maybe after this one, we're going to do a Kickstarter where we could offer maybe some tickets and stickers and T-shirts, things like that. But for this one right now, because it's a quick, we need this by April 20th or even sooner, so we get John Clare. John Clare could probably knock it out in a weekend, so I'm not worried about that. But the money part is. So the GoFundMe, I'm just doing this now, and it looks like I'm going to have the site gofundme.com/quarryfest. So quarry then has a little dash fest. Maybe I could change that to, I'm going to do that. I'm going to change it to Quarry Fest. All right. So if you go to gofundme.com/quarryfest, and that's what the link will be. Nope, I'm sorry. It's got to have a little dash in there. So you can only change it once. So Quarry-Fest, gofundme.com/quarry/fest. Wow. Hope that wasn't too confusing. That's pretty much it, So let me read off who we have so far as the where is it? And who's playing? We just signed Eric Ian Farmer. There was a little schedule conflict with Eric, but we did work that out. So far we have, like I said, Eric Ian Farman. We have Carl and Allie. Carl is a local musician. He's here every Friday at the Inglebean for open mic. He owns the Art Gallery across the street. Chris Whitmer from The Crow Flies will be performing. Chris is the one that is the organizer of the open mic here at the Inglebean. Also, we have the Rusty Kit, Gene Gibson. Gene comes in here all the time for open mic. He's a pretty famous local musician. He's been around the world, a lot of the country and around the world too, playing. So he's pretty good. Brother Sister will be playing. Dave Brown will be playing. He's part of another band. His other band members couldn't make it. He's doing a solo thing. Lexi Moore is going to be there. Hannah Bingman is going to be there. The Unbanned is going to be there. I guess I don't have to say going to be there every time. Obvious Pocket. I think we're going to have an Obvious Pocket song today. I was trying to see who we could pick, and I think Obvious Pocket has a lot of songs out there that we could steal one and put as a song of the day. So Obvious Pocket, you're going to be there. No Remorse. Swallow the Pride, new band from my buddy Cole, local neighbor. And then wrapping everything up, Shizzletang will be playing. So, Shizzletang was great. Last year they did a lot of Pink Floyd covers for me. we did the light show and everything, and we had 2 bonfires. We'll probably have 2 bonfires for Quarry Fest 420 also. So check them out. Also, if you'd like to volunteer for Quarry Fest, we definitely need volunteers. So email us at info@woodwardquarry.com. 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 Also, if you would like to purchase tickets, someone's here. Give me 1 second. Someone's just walking into this is what happens when you film live at a coffee shop. 1 second. So tickets can be purchased at, where is it? brownpapertickets.com. Just go to there in Quarry Fest 420. I think the thing was Quarry Fest, but so Brown Paper Tickets, look them up, check out Quarry Fest 420 there. You can buy tickets there. You could also buy them at the Inglebean. You could come in here and buy them. What else can you get them? That's pretty much it. Check them out. Share. Please share this with everybody. The GoFundMe that we're launching, share that with everybody. It is GoFundMe.com/QuarryFest with a space between it. So if you just go there, anywhere, just search for Quarry Fest. We're pretty much the only ones out there. So share it with everybody. Let's try to raise the $6,000 needed for this parking lot. Any money extra will be going towards the generic infrastructure of the event. No, let's not do this. Any extra money will be going towards the Hope Fund. So let's do that. This way it's a real GoFundMe. Any extra money goes to the Hope Fund. So $6,000. If John could do it for $5,000, $1,000 goes to the Hope Fund. So that's that. So yeah, check us out. Share it with your friends, loved ones, and all that good stuff. The song of the day, I am going to do Obvious Pocket, The Lawn. Like I said, Obvious Pocket will be playing at Quarry Fest 420 on April 20th. So share the love, share everything, tell all your friends. This is a nice short music podcast. I'm kind of hesitant to do the music podcast because I don't know much about music, but I am going to be doing whatever I can. So thanks for listening. Again, please share this podcast, DennisAllen.com, with people. Share Quarry Fest, the GoFundMe with people. And enjoy Obvious Pocket singing The Lawn. All right, guys. Love you all. Dennis Allen, OUT out.
Everything's alright. Leave your things on the table. Tonight is bright. Hand the books out the stable. All in good time. Good time. All in good time. it, I've been good dancing. And now we know the truth. We don't know what we're missing. All in good time. All in good time. I've been going in and out again, searching for my. I've been going